Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to those charts. So let's go over to Bitcoin and let's go over to the 12-hour first. I believe we said in this morning's video 12-hour 9 incoming, and also 12-hour stochastics, which are basically Bitcoin's cheat codes. Well, they were deep and looking like they were going to turn back round. So here we have it, 12-hour Stokes turning back round. 12-hour TD9, which obviously was trading down here at the support, this support level we had drawn in. And there we go. Look at that for a move. That is in the context of the importance of 10,600. And in the context of the obviously the very bearish bearish sentiment in the market and bearish price action, this is actually an incredible move. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, and I'll speak to you guys in the morning, aren't we? I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is a very good move. It's very good to see. We were talking about the 12-hour TD9 coming in and the 12-hour Stokes getting deep and looking like they could turn around. And yeah, that's what we've got. So now we get to play the game of, this is definitely a higher low relative to this low. Now confirmed. Obviously this is definitely a lower high compared to this high, so it is now the game of, can we take out 11k and make a higher high, in which case we'll be back in a confirmed uptrend, well, it'll be happy days basically. I am definitely encouraged by the fact that Bitcoin has broke through this. The area is 10,500 to 10,600, so we've broken through that and done an extra $100, and basically we're trading still up there now. And this is a pretty it's a nice move, guys, basically. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to see. Yeah, here we are now, guys. Let me just undo. I think I may have just moved a line. But yeah, so yeah, looking great. Let's have a look at our good old friends over in traditional market land. So yeah, you can see S&P is only really there or thereabouts. It's not really done a lot. S&P has not regained regained this important level yet, but hey, can it do it? We're playing the same game in the S&P, obviously lower lows, and can we take out this high and put in a higher high? That is what, there's not really much else to look at in the S&P here. I believe there was I don't know if there was a 9 coming in somewhere. Let me just have a look at the 4-hour. Yeah, I believe it may have been this 12-hour. Yeah, but obviously we're moving up in a formation there, so no, it wasn't really anything of note TD wise there. Let's have a look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq, oh, just got it on 12-hour. That'll do. As you can see, Nasdaq trying to regain this horizontal. Not regained it yet, but when it does, yeah, things will probably look a bit more rosy. And when I say when it does, if it does, I should probably say. Dollar index. So this is the interesting thing, guys. Dollar index has not really done a lot today. It's not necessarily retraced much in a way that's going to facilitate the move that we've had in Bitcoin alone. Obviously we've had a bit of a move in stock markets, but yeah, this is still really just hanging there and thereabouts. But I mean, you guys know my long-term fundamental views. I'll obviously look at the chart and see where this is going, but realistically, I'm still bearish of this and still think it's going to come down until obviously the Fed decides to be fiscally responsible. But I think hell is going to freeze over before that point. So yeah, obviously dollar index, not really a lot to see. You can see we've got the 4-hour 9 round about here. We have got this 12-hour 9 coming up, and we have got this daily nothing. Don't know why I said that, but yeah, we've got the 12-hour 9. So yeah, I mean, and I did talk about in this morning's video about the size of these moves, and like this is quite a lengthy move in one direction. So you would expect some form of a retrace, and even if it's a retrace to, well, this level, realistically I'll be looking at, that is going to do all sorts of wonderful things for our market. And don't forget also, this is a relative trade, so it just means that it's getting stronger relative to the other currencies, and it doesn't necessarily mean real assets do have to necessarily go down in value too much, only if it is literally a risk off move into the dollar that is moving us up, and in which case, if it's a risk off move, that's obviously money coming out of risk assets into the dollar, and driving it up. So Ethereum, as you can see, having a nice move also today, coincidentally on its 12-hour 9 also. Yeah, nice bounce in Ethereum back above this level. Doesn't look that impressive when we're on that time frame. Well, doesn't look massively impressive on this time frame. Are we trying to put in a low here and resume the trend upwards? Maybe. We've got to get a follow through realistically though. And Ethereum, Bitcoin looks pretty similar as well, regaining this horizontal. So yeah, that is all looking good there. Let's have a look at gold and silver. Gold first, 1874. Yeah, basically, you guys knew my target was up here, and that was based on a breakout in volatility to the upside. We have actually broken to the downside, and I will remind you of the fact an expansion of volatility does not just have to be in one direction. I was just assuming it may be to the upside, but yeah, I mean, we can come down here, turn around and come back up, perfectly okay for price action to do that, but it could keep coming down, so we won't rule out the fact we could get a big move down, which would be, well, I mean, I was realistically looking for about $300, so roughly from where we are, that could take us down to well, if we were to come all the way down to about $1,500, but I mean, honestly, I can't see it based on just the fundamentals. And obviously the long-term chart is bullish. That would be a full well, bearish move of this asset, so which I don't necessarily see that happening either. Over to silver bouncing also. Did we get a 12-hour 9? No, we didn't. We got the 12-hour 9 a bit earlier there. Did we get anything on the daily? No, there's not. I don't think there's anything on the daily. But yeah, basically silver turning around with the rest of the market. This is quite a bullish looking candle here. So if we do take out the top of this and start to trade above it on a daily basis, that could mark a low. And resumption upwards. And again, I'm talking about this expansion of volatility, come down first and go back up. Where I saw something similar to this, if we go to my trading view, over to my ideas, over to oil. Here, where is oil? Why can I not see what I'm looking at on here? Oh, it is there, the first one. So let me show you here. So oil, I was looking for an expansion of volatility either to the upside or the downside. So what happened? We faked to the upside first, as you can see here, and then we got slammed down to the downside. So let's go and have a look at gold right here. We are expecting an expansion of volatility here. It's a very similar looking chart. Move down to the downside, fake down to the downside, and then can we get slammed up to the upside in much the same way we had the opposite happen here in oil? Sort of move to the upside and then slam down to the downside. Yeah, my main point is just the volatility just increases, and we expect a range of movement which doesn't necessarily have to be in one direction. So yeah, there's the bullish case for gold. There's the bullish case, and still, I mean, we could still make it up here, but before, yeah, well, to be honest, the elections are coming, any craziness can happen. The stimulus could get agreed, we could be up there, but we will see. We'll leave it in there. We'll see how right or wrong I am. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's have a look at that good old bi-weekly. How are we doing? How are we looking here on the bi-weekly? Bi-weekly 9. Still got 3 days left of this candle, so I would well, like to hope if we're going to resume to the upside, it's a 1 to 4 candle correction. We will be on the third correct candle by that point, by in 3 days time. So could that be the candle we do start to push up? Potentially. Like I said, holding above this 10,600 is obviously very good. Obviously, holding above 10 is critical. But yeah, I mean, 10,006 is looking good. I think we could be looking good here. I mean, it could be a fake out, but I think the fake out actually was to the downside. Don't tell the bears that. 2-day, as you can see on the 2-day, again, this candle closing in in an hour, and that's not a bad looking 2-day candle, guys. This is a good looking 2-day candle. Basically, you can see we tested actually a lot of levels here. These aren't levels based off a 2-day chart, but a lot of levels. Got all the way brought back up again and found our way at the above this 10,700, well, around 10,700, which is really good. So if we close this candle in an hour or so, hour and 20 minutes at this level, then continuation above that level, we would be looking like the most likely scenario is we're taking out 11k and coming back up. We would look for a higher high based on that. And you might think, well, can't we just put in a lower high in a tightening formation? We could, but there's not a lot of room left to run in there, is there? And this is quite a lot high range candle here. I mean, this basically is the tightening formation of obviously this high and this low. So now it's a case of breaking out of this tightening formation. And at the moment, if we can close here and we can start to make progress towards 11k, I really think the momentum could start to kick in. The momentum could start to kick in and get us going to that upside. Let's have a look at the daily. How's the daily looking? I mean, this is a very bullish looking candle. This is definitely putting the squeeze on a lot of bears. It's definitely putting the squeeze on. Yeah, I mean, basically, people wanting to accumulate Bitcoin around here, and they all sort of FOMO'd in here. Maybe, but maybe it's just maybe it is the realization that the dollar isn't necessarily going to keep going up. Maybe it's a 12-hour 9 and stochastics. Maybe it's simple as that. But yeah, let's go over to the dollar again. Maybe it's people looking at this thinking this asset is fundamentally very bearish. I mean, I don't really want to have an argument with the dollar bull guys, because, well, they're just trying to be contrarian and trying to be smart to grab attention. That's how these guys work. That's the thing you'll understand about a lot of financial commentators, is that first and foremost they are just egotistical people that want to act like they're smart. So they just want to be. So a lot of them will just try and be contrarian, just to get attention. They're marketing people, usually selling a newsletter, products or something like that, or service or investment fund or something. So they want to grab your attention. And yeah, so there you go. But anyway, this is not looking bullish. I mean, it is looking like we're having a nice bounce. But it's not a confirmed, it's not a confirmed, what am I trying to say? Definite reversal. I know people are looking at this on the weekly, and saying, well, here we go. We came down here and then bounced all the way back up, and now we're coming down to here. We're going to put in a higher low here, and then bounce back up. But, yeah, I mean, so you're literally calling this as the actual bottom in the same way that was the bottom. Yeah, basically, there's a saying about picking bottoms, yeah, I can't remember exactly how it goes actually, but obviously you can see where they're going with the picking bottoms, and yeah, you shouldn't really do it. Also, catching falling knives is another expression. That one's a bit more, well, it's a bit it's a bit cleaner to understand. But yeah, so there we go. So they were looking at this weekly as in this is the low and we are going to start to move upwards. But I disagree. I disagree just because of the fundamentals. Obviously, clearly, we can have a nice pullback like we're having. I mean, we had a pretty severe move back, a nice pullback here. We had the move back, and then obviously, well, this happened. But you have to be a brave guy to call this at the end of this trend and we're going up. I mean, I will say what I say about the bi-weekly in Bitcoin. We're just playing out the weakness off the bi-weekly TD9. And then we're going to resume our uptrend. It's the same with the dollar. We're playing weakness. Well, it's the opposite. It's inverted. It's strength off the weekly 9 here. And this is 1, 2, 3 candles. This This could be it. This could be the squeeze, and then we could go down. Obviously, I could be wrong. We could keep squeezing up, and this could be the squeeze up in Bitcoin, and then we could come down. But yeah, well, obviously we can't see this on this chart. Obviously, in the 4 hour, you can see it a bit better. But yeah, we will have to see. But yeah, you guys know I keep saying how important this 10,600 level, and it was looking very obvious to me that we were gonna lose. We were gonna get rejected at 12k. We did come back below 12, below 10.6. We did bear flag it out. We did very briefly move down to down off that breakdown of that bear flag, and then we have very swiftly and savagely moved back up now. So if we hold 10,600, consolidate in this zone, guys, you can't really look at this chart and think the most likely scenario is we're going to break back below 10.6 and come down. If we come up consolidating here around this level, the clear as day most likely scenario is that we're going to retake 11k and it's going to be game on. It is going to be game on. Game on, guys. Game on. So that's what we want. We're wanting game on. That's what we want, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's about all I've really got to say. We've had Fed people coming out today talking their usual rubbish. We had shock tactics today actually from the Fed saying that we can have a freezing, basically saying we can have a freezing credit markets even before the end of this year. So you need to borrow more money off us, guys. Confirm that stimulus. Get more debt into the market. That's basically what they're saying. The Fed has one product. That product is debt. And they basically can't force Congress to agree on stimulus packages, which they're more than happy to finance. They've got to agree, and the Democrats have basically starting to try and compromise on the stimulus package to get it done. Basically, the Democrats want a massive one, the Republicans don't want as big a one, which I find intriguing. But obviously, the president's Republican, that's great. But obviously, a lot of the Republican Congress people aren't necessarily wanting just to increase the debt. There are some hawks on there. There are some actual conservatives. There are some actual conservatives, not just those rhinos they're called, Republicans in name only. But yeah, so yeah, I believe that this is looking good. I mean, I'm basing this on the fact 10.6 is one of my most important levels, as you guys know, even though it has been fully violated a number of times, as very important levels will tend to do in a volatile market. Well, that's trying to trick as many people as they can. Nothing is going to be as simple as it may seem. But yeah, I mean, I think we are looking to regain and hold this 10.6 and push on up. I mean, I may be wrong. But we're doing this in the face of the dollar having a bit of a correction too. But I actually think the reality of the situation is probably settling in, and that it is still bearish for the dollar. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice. I mean, we've got this horizontal drawn in. It's a nice level for it to come back to and get absolutely slammed and get slammed back down from. So we will see. And like I said, guys, we can be bullish and be turning around this asset and come down to test this trend line anywhere, even sub 92, and bounce off it and go bullish. That definitely could be the case. So but in the meantime, we've got to look at what's going to happen in the meantime. So yeah, that is it, guys. I don't have too much else I want to talk about. I mean, the main thing is, well, it's not the main thing, but one thing I will say is that stocks are still not necessarily looking amazing here. There's nothing about this as it is looking like we are reversing this trend yet. Yeah, there's nothing really saying that we are. We'll join this trend line because it's just screaming out to be drawn, isn't it? Basically. Yeah, so I think if we break above that trend line, which we tried to do on this wedge, then yeah, we could be looking good. So maybe sideways in this range, break through this trend line, move back up, get back above this important horizontal in the S&P, and then obviously back towards this one, and then the it's off to the moon for everything again. So yeah, really good day to see. Things are looking pretty dicey it is nice to see the TD working. It is nice to see Bitcoin's cheat codes, the 12-hour Stokes, working. Yeah, these are the main things that you guys know that I like. I always talk about the 12-hour Stokes. I always talk about the TD sequential, and we were talking about that TD9 on the 12-hour coming in. I mean, TD wise, we've been looking at that bi-weekly TD9, which is, I believe, is causing this weakness to down in Bitcoin. We talked about that weekly TD9 buy in the dollar, which is causing sideways to up in the dollar. It's all just TD trades. It's just all TD, guys. It's all TD sequential. Or as what's his name, Tone Vase would say, it's all MRI, guys. I won't try and do an impression of his voice, but it's all MRI. Momentum reversal indicator, and yeah, I mean that's the momentum reversing. So nice little pump up in Bitcoin going on here. I'll take you down to the absolute the absolute crackhead 15-minute time frame, which I don't think I've looked at in a long time. But hey, look at it. We are going for it, guys. Going for it. Is this going to be a fake up and a slam down? It is okay as long as we do hold this 10.6, 10.5 area. Anywhere in the zone is fine as long as we stay here. Then we are looking good, and it just looked really odd on that time frame. But yeah, let's get it to the 4 hour. Anywhere basically supported in this zone is great, and we are basically looking like we're going to tap on a resistance level now, but that resistance level is yeah, about 10,800. So yeah, that is it, guys, really. Yeah, fingers crossed this can be a turnaround in all these markets again. I don't like saying things like fingers crossed, but because it just seems that we're just basically just hoping for whatever we're hoping for. But obviously we know that's not the case. Look at all these lines, guys. There's no fingers crossed there. These are just chart technical analysis, isn't it? And obviously the TD sequential that we're using, looking at the other markets that are impacting us. And then yeah, there's no harm keeping our fingers crossed as well, is there? So anyway, there we go, guys. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Definitely don't go and buy XDAI, my favorite altcoin. Obviously that's clearly not financial advice. But yeah, just a heads up there. But anyway, so yeah, there we go, guys. Remember, again, one more time, not a financial advice, especially not that XDAI bit. And I will speak to you guys in the morning.